Another beautiful day and another gem here in Michigan. Man, I love this state. Guys, I hope your Labor Day weekend was as peaceful and relaxing as mine. By the way, ever since deleting my Facebook account, my life has pretty much changed. Everything is so quiet and drama-free. Man, it was just, what a burden. I cannot believe I was such a sucker for so long. You know, the Messenger app just constantly dinging all the time, and all the drama and politics on Facebook. I mean, boy, guys, if you want to like relieve a bunch of stress and just live your life, I strongly encourage you to try to quit Facebook or as much social media as you can. Because, man, I've been really enjoying life. And yes, I'm at a new campground here. I'm still up in the UP of Michigan, Ottawa National Forest. This is the campground called Sparrow Rapids. I'm in a loop here which allows 14 days of free camping, but this spot officially, at least this one, closes September 15th. So just barely getting in there before they start shutting down some of these. The Sparrow River and the rapids are nearby. There's only 6 campsites at this place, and they're all empty. I want to show you the bathrooms. Because other than these 2 vault toilets, there's nothing really here. They got that one marked women there. And then over there is the men's vault toilet. Other than that, it's a pack it in, pack it out. No garbage, no drinking water, and not a whole lot of solar. And the quietness of the National Forest it's starting to wear on me. I mean, seriously, Michigan, you're really just feeding my soul here. This is just amazing. I love life. I love this world. Man, I love it. I love it all. Here's site 6 at the end of the loop. You get a picnic table, a fire pit, and not a whole lot of sun. Here's the exit of the loop and the start of the loop, the one way. Actually, this site over there now looks a lot sunnier than it did when I first got here. Alright, and I'm at site 3 here. I'm just in no hurry lately. There's been no reason to be in a hurry at all. Because everything is just so peaceful and, I hate to say perfect. I mean, hang on. Everything is really enjoyable right now. And that's a good thing, right? Yeah. Yeah, I got a picnic table there. I think this is for hanging your garbage. It's got a hook on it so that the bears don't get at it. I'll have to dig out the fire ring a little bit here. There's no burn ban here in Michigan right now. And somebody was kind enough to leave some dry wood. Otherwise, not sure if you can hear the water in the background. It's kind of faint even up here. But there's a half-mile trail that goes down to the water, I guess. And all of these sites have their own little walking trail, so I'm gonna check it out. A nice little trail. It's beautiful with the sun just peeking through. I do have my bear spray with me, just in case. Because there's something almost a little eerie about being this far out in the middle of nowhere and all by myself. I mean, at least if there was one other person camping here, I'd feel better, but there isn't. It's really creepy. Alright, and then this is the Sparrow River. I've yet to find the rapids. I'm going to keep walking along the water. Look how bright. It almost looks like the water's like rusty. Just has that really red tint to it. Maybe a lot of iron, or I'm not sure. And although I'm to the point where I need long sleeves in the daytime, I've not switched up my shorts. Still gonna sport the shorts as long as I can. Just clinging on to that last bit of hope for warmth, right? You know, I am seeing some pretty clear similarities between this area of Michigan and Washington State. Lots of green. Okay, I guess it's starting to sound a little rapid-like. just around the river bend. This might be one of the most amazing, epic trails and hikes I've been on in quite some time. This is really pretty. Yeah, those are rapids. I also got a weather alert on my app, and I thought, what could that possibly be for? I mean, we're not going to get too hot. No, it's a frost warning here. Yes, temperatures could possibly dip below freezing overnight, and then we'll have frost in the morning. Okay, and that's as far as I'm going to go on this little trail, because it gets thick, mud, and wet. Okay, still, nice little half-mile, three-quarter-mile walk. Trying to start a fire over there, but so far it's mostly just smoke. And I do have a neighbor now, a van dweller over there. So, yeah, at least I'm not alone here. Yeah, I managed to get the fire going here. Thank you to whoever left the free wood. I knew you would. So some interesting developments this morning here at this campground here in Michigan. I actually, for the first time ever, decided to turn off my surveillance cameras up top last night to save battery because I'm not getting solar. Well, at about 2 a.m., I woke up to my scooter alarm going off. Not the full-blown alarm, but somebody had to have physically moved it enough, like jiggled it to make it go, because it's not a very sensitive alarm. My neighbor camping over here has a little bit of damage from a bear, which I'm going to go show you. So my neighbor heard some possible growling noises and whatever last night. You can see his completely bent up right here and dug in, as well as on the outside. It got shredded up pretty bad. This all happened last night. Ripped the canvas on the back side here, ripped it open right there, sliced into it with his claws over here. So this back area, we definitely have a large creature over here. So I'm not going to try to like bait or anything like that, but I'm definitely going to turn the night vision cameras on tonight and see if I can capture it. So I'm going to hop on the scoot and try something different. Now yesterday when I got here, I didn't see like a really big fancy store, so I didn't stop and get groceries or anything, but I did take the scooter out and try to find a store. It took me 12.5 miles down the highway east to like a bar slash gas station slash kind of a convenience store. They didn't even have any milk though, so I got a 12-pack of beer and put it in the seat and brought it back. I was talking to my neighbor here, and if you go the other way back towards Bruce Crossing, they have an actual grocery store, so that's what I'm going to go do now. I'm going to bring the backpack this time, so I got the backpack and the seat for more storage. That was the longest scooter ride ever for me. From this campground to that grocery store is 24 miles one way, so I put on nearly 50 miles on the scooter today. That's half the gas tank right there. I did top off gas while I was there, but got all the essentials, and now I don't even have to leave on the scooter for anything for the rest of my stay here. So that is pretty cool. About last night though, it did get cold as the weather forecast predicted. I woke up several times in the middle of the night, probably just cold, but when I was ready to wake up and make coffee, it was 39 degrees inside the RV, which is way too cold to be comfortable by any means. So I fired up the generator and I used the onboard furnace for about an hour to warm it all up nice and toasty, but I'm also thinking that now it's time to bring out the buddy heater system so that I don't drain the battery heat in the RV. I don't know how cold. I don't think it's going to get down that low for the rest of the week. That maybe it might have just been like one freak day, but it was uncomfortable enough to know that I'm not really prepared. Yeah, so I'm going to actually get this up and going right now while it's nice and sunny. Now, for reference, I have a video that I made right around this time last year when I was in New Hampshire, talking about why I go with this for heat. I go into great detail about why it's every RVer's boondocker's friend, so I'll link that video in the card above. If you're watching YouTube on your laptop, you can watch that. I'm not going to go over that right now. Right now, what I'm going to do is hook it up, make sure everything is still working properly, and kind of talk to you about why I don't do what everybody else is doing, and that is simply plumb this into the existing propane line on the RV. Why do I use this and then put this outside the window and run it in through? And, you know, what's the reason? Isn't it simple? Well, I love the sun. What you're going to find is there's people on YouTube, a lot of big YouTubers actually, they have tapped into their existing propane system in the RV so that they don't have to carry around the 20-pound cylinder. And it's just a matter of cutting the copper, flaring that, and then putting in a T adapter so that they can have a low pressure propane line going straight to the heater, and then they don't have to worry about anything except refilling that one tank on the RV. Another popular exercise I've seen a lot of people do is here on their onboard tank, unhook the regulator right here, and right here you would actually mount an extend-a-stay, which has the port for a quick connect, and I think it's the 1/2-inch propane. Then you would just run that line, although it wouldn't be regulated, so you would have high pressure coming into the buddy heater, so you would need to have the fuel filter on your buddy heater. But those are two of the most common types of ways I've seen people plumb in the buddy heater. So let's talk about convenience here, shall we? Because although I don't really mean to like defend myself here or anything, but when you're on the road, now we already have a working furnace, so that could be like an emergency backup, although it's really inefficient and it's plumbed into the main tank. But let's say that you had the buddy heater and you couldn't find someone who would refill your onboard tank. See what I mean? There are a lot of people that refill propane on the road, but they have to have the right hookups and the right certification to be able to pump propane into an RV. That can be hard to find, at least for me sometimes on the road. Now, where am I always going to be at? Somewhere nearby, within 30 miles probably. A Walmart, where they have the propane exchange stuff. It's like 20 bucks, so it's like double the price. But price aside, guys, we need to have the fuel when we need it, right? So you simply just exchange the tank. That's why I like this system, and that's why I'm never going to change my system. It's not that I can't tap into my existing system, it's because I don't want to. I want to have a secondary way to heat the RV, a more convenient way to fill up the propane bottles on the road, and to make sure that I always have that heat. So it's not an inconvenience to me at all. It's actually really smart when you think about it. And not to mention the amount of propane that the buddy heater needs in order to perform. If that were to exhaust your only source of propane in the RV, and you still could not find a place to refill, well, you've lost everything in the RV because you only have that one tank that you call convenient. Well, it's no longer convenient because now you can't cook food, you can't take a hot shower, all the food in your fridge and freezer is going to go bad because you're not going to be able to cool all your stuff. So I don't see why anyone would even think that it's a good idea to tap in and steal the propane from that tank. You know what I mean? I don't know. And besides, my buddy heater, this is not the big buddy, this is just the normal buddy. It doesn't have the quick connect built in back here where you don't need to regulate the pressure. So I would have to actually upgrade this to the big buddy in order to have the capability of the quick connect. So also, as a backup to my backup system, I guess you'd call it, I always have on hand extra green 1-pound propane cylinders in case I absolutely couldn't even find a replacement for this. I can always put the green one right in here for emergency heat just in case. Now, I'm not ever going to be running this system with the propane tank inside the RV. It's being stored and traveled with in the off position while I'm driving up in the passenger seat. But as you see in my other video from New Hampshire last year, this would sit outside right next to the front wheel. Then this tube would come into the window. Also gives a little bit of ventilation in the RV. And as a disclaimer, please read all information and know to crack your windows and everything. But for this demonstration, I'm just going to set it on the ground behind it. Make sure this thing still works because it hasn't been fired up in about 10 months. The Mr. Heater company says you do not need to use the fuel filter when you're using their approved cord. I don't know, hose, I don't know why that is, but whatever. There's going to be no propane in the line, so this is going to take a while. Haha, finally lit. I think it's been like 5 or 6 minutes, just non-stop, to get all the propane in this line to the buddy heater. But the pilot light is finally lit. I don't know why I thought you would see anything here in the daytime outside in the sun, but I assure you, it is lit. That looks a little orange, I guess, yeah. It is putting out some warmth. So I mean, there's people out there that probably have their reasons for why they think it's better to tap into the onboard system. I don't know about the whole more convenient idea. That's the main thing I hear from people. It's just more convenient. You only have to fill one tank. You only have to worry about one tank. Yeah, but you only have one tank. I don't know. From experience, I have been in parts of the country where they will not fill up your RV. That's why even if I'm 3/4 full and I find a pilot that will fill up the tank and top it off for me, I'll do it. Then there was that time in Washington State one winter as well where I couldn't find anybody who would fill an RV. But I did find a place to swap out the 20-pound cylinder. So, yeah, I mean, you just never know. Not saying one way is better than the other. I'm just saying don't do what everybody else does and don't do what I do. Do what you think is going to work for you, right? But yeah, we're not going to be cold tonight. Yeah, I know. Dad didn't have a good fire last night. I failed miserably. Actually, I think it's the wood's fault. The wood was not as dry as I thought. But hey, I'm really good with that propane fire, huh? Yeah, I am. Hey, you better watch out, Jax. There's bears over there. Somewhere. Okay. I believe you, man. I believe you. Well, you're quite the talker today. Who are you talking to? Those are happy meows, right? Okay. Yeah, just roaming free. Meow. Actually, I knew you were aiming for the table. I knew that's where you were going. That's where you always go. Straight to the table. There you go, shake it off. What do you think, man? What do you think of Michigan? Okay. So guys, I think I'm going to stay here another couple nights before heading east towards Marquette. I really like this campground, and I'm not quite ready to leave. Also, it's supposed to rain tonight, and so I think I'll just stay here and pack up in a couple days. Might even make another video from here. I got the cameras turned back on, so maybe we'll be able to catch that bear. I don't really have anything over here he'd want, except my kitty cat. No, we'll keep eyes on Jax, but I'll check the cameras later and get back with you guys. Otherwise, I'm really, really, really loving Michigan. This is amazing. So, all right, guys, have a good one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, this is Jax, my kitty cat. I'm his servant, Eric. Thanks for watching our YouTube channel here on RVing. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up below. Make sure you subscribe, check out all our other videos, and keep following us on the road. Thanks, guys.